Just when you think you're queued up, so to speak.
You grant knowledge to man, teach discernment to a more.
DJ Beck, KK, Patrick, Oldman, Cachorro, Sammy Am, AC, Based Biker, to the third, Juliet, somebody else, Jack, Be Nimble, Mad Dog,
Who grants knowledge?
Andrea, how are you?
Turn us back, oh Father, to your Torah. Draw us near, our King, to your
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for the unconditional hearts, Andrea. Cynthia, hello Dave, and Denise. So bummed. We got a Corona deferral on hanging out with you guys, but we're gonna do that soon. Funny girl.
Forgive us, Father, for we have sinned.
Thanks for the
Pardon us,
tweets.
our King, for we have transgressed. For you pardon and forgive, you pardon and forgive. Blessed are you, O Lord, abundantly gracious to forgive. See our affliction and take on our fight. Take on our struggle, quickly redeem us. For the sake of your great name, because you are a strong redeemer. Blessed are you,
Tap, tap, tap,
O
Andrea.
Redeemer of Israel. For the sake of your great name, because you are a strong redeemer.
Hey, Liberty.
Blessed are you, O Lord, Redeemer of Israel.
Gregness. That's off of my album Rising, and that was twice Grammy nominated jazz orchestra composer who did all of the arrangements. So there's flute and cello and all kinds of goodness, full rhythm section, total LA top recording artists on this project, exploring ancient biblical prayer from a Jewish lens that just is so full of Yeshua hiding in the corners of every prayer. So it's super fun, and it's hey, cue dropped, but you can wait. Don't leave me. Hey, I gotta say, I gotta apologize for the hair, because yesterday and today I've been busy making videos with my family that we're releasing, timely videos for the hour. And I want to promote Greg Harvey's not only broadcast. Greg is the new drive time guy. Did you guys, in the olden days when we got in our cars and drive time and listened to AM radio or FM radio, and we had our, favorite people, Dazzlin' Dawn from CKFM in Toronto, Ontario. That's what I listen to on the way to music. You can get my music at julielavender.com. And if you buy it there, I'll send you an autographed copy. The thing is that, so I've been doing things with my hair because of these videos, but the point I'm trying to get to is that Greg Harvey's doing a scope train, and I believe that the theme is going to be Hollywood Unhinged. And I think hopefully there'll be some parodies of some of the weird unhinged responses to what we're going through, and how maybe beyond the surface of what seems like just kind of irrational patter, there's some darkness. But we on the light side, at least we can get a little laughter out of it. I hope, Greg. So I contributed my video today, and it destroyed my hair doing that video, I'm just saying. And then yesterday, my family and we did a whole thing that's being edited now that my sons are producing, or we did a family project of a 1950s pandemic, how the 1950s family handles pandemic. So yeah, Hollywood Unhinged. That's right. So, anyway, when you give yourself over to your art and your characters and so forth, then usually the hair suffers, the hair, the makeup, the whole deal. But hey, I have to say, Greg, you had a really good point. That yeah, super fun. That these people who are all about image, it's really weird that they're not taking time to put any makeup on to do their unhinged videos. It doesn't seem right. I mean, those of us in MAGA, come on, Andrea, when you do your videos, do you not put some makeup on? I'm telling you. Even Dave, and Denise look like they probably spruce up a little bit. Right. I mean, and like Greg looks like his beard is all combed and his hair is like coiffed. So what's with these Hollywood people that have taught us to live through the lens of their soft focus, retouched lives that are coming out like death freaking warmed over? Like you said something, right? What did you call it? Like they look like, I can't remember how you said it, but Greg, I laughed so hard. We got to laugh at something. And, it's funny how God allows our icons to be taken down. And this is what I want to tell you. First of all, are you doing your homework? Because if you're watching me and you're a freaked out, an anxious, paranoid person, we're giving you real homework. And before I go any further, can I just say that on my Fear Free Life group, which is a free group, I am doing daily specific foci between now and Passover and resurrection that are perfectly timed bites for you people that really struggle, and me people that really struggle with anxiety and need to have a focus and a few things to do to help ground you. Your healing process goes deep and long, but when you have a group of people that help you stay focused on some simple successes that you can do that are powerful, that is helpful. And that's available free on my Fear Free Life group thing. Just Facebook me, my Fear Free Life group. Ask to join in the challenge, do a few simple things. I'm doing it and I'm like, wow, this is really helping me. So, and also somebody followed me from Nepal. I saw you, young lady from Nepal, and she's watching me on Facebook. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name right now. But you know what she did? She went back and she watched probably at least 24 of my videos. And I was like, she's motivated. She wants information. She wants truth. Guys, if you really want to get well, if you really say, I'm done with fear, if you've really been following those steps of surrender, to get to the root of what's caused your anxiety and to realize that if you're in panic and anxiety, you're being re-triggered and your issues really aren't about today. And then I did a great scope yesterday. Please, 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 if you missed my scope yesterday, follow me at Julie_Lavender on Twitter or Julie Lavender, on Periscope. Friend me on Facebook, Julie Lavender. Go to julielavender.com. I did a really, really powerful scope yesterday on betrayal and bitterness and why that will suck you into anxiety and how we need to deal with that. We are given, do you want to get well? Jesus. Yeah, do you? Are you ready? Because we have been putting out resources. People have been putting out resources for you. I've been giving you homework. I've been giving you steps. Are you doing your homework? Or are you just floating in the stew of your unresolved, undealt with stuff? Look, I love to get on here thank you, Greg. By the way, I'm taking your CBD. I think it's really starting to help my sleep. I really do. I think I'm starting to see a change. So let me back at you, Greg Harvey's KAGCBD.com. That's Keep America Great CBD products. And I still have a lot to learn. I'm not doing any doobies. I'm not sure about all that, Greg. But the CBD drops for I think are really helping my sleep. Why did I go off? Because I can, and because I've given you a lot of intense content. And if you missed the one about bitterness and betrayal from yesterday, please do yourself a favor and listen to it. A lot of times we have our fun friends in the morning, like Greg. It's the drive time guy There's this community, there's this chatting, there's this conversation, there's devotions and fun and silliness and patriot talk. And then I like to kind of get on and be content rich and be focused. So you know that if I'm on for 30 minutes, you got a good 25 of that is really focused and is going to not take you too far off, because you got a lot of voices. And I don't want to yammer. I'm not here just to yammer, but I like to get on every day and see how deep the well goes of God's goodness. Could it be possible that I could get on 5 days a week for however long now? Hey, first time listening, and deliver every day deeper understanding and clarity about the fear-free life? Yeah, you know why? Because it's the deepest story. The deepest story that we will ever have to tell is the one that leads us to the journey to overcome fear. Fear is personal, it's a force, and it's aimed at your purpose specifically. And it is the nemesis to everything God wants to do in your life. Again, fear is a force. It is a personal force. It is personally aimed at your key wounds and your story to keep you hiding in the wings of your own life. And it is the alternative, it is the opposite kingdom of faith. And so for us to be able to stand there and look more and more deeply into who God is and how this works, and get better and better and better at rejecting the language and the currency of fear every day, is a win-win-win. So I show up just to see what's going to come out. Fear is a liar. And my scopes are pretty darn content rich. As much as I'd like to chat and goof around, I'm like, let's deliver the goods. And the goods have to be your accountability for facing your own demons. In my Fear-Free Life group, I'm doing this thing all about Passover. And Moses goes to the burning bush. I can tell you now because I released it to my group before. Because if you're in my group, you're getting stuff nobody else is getting, not even here. But the other day, I released a focus. That's right. False evidence appearing real. I released a focus. God comes to Moses in the burning bush. And he says, hey, I'm going to deliver your people. I've heard their cry. And Moses goes, great. And he goes, yeah, and I'm sending you. And Moses goes, no, it's not going to happen. Me, And this is the partnership. God says to you right now, I'm going to deliver you of your fear. And you go, cool. I think I'll just chill. I'll just be so passive. I'll just wait for Jesus' sparkle drops to come down on me and make it all better, to just make me feel good. And God's plan, my friend, is for you to become the deliverer. Did you know that? Moses becomes a Christ character. Moses becomes a Messiah character. Moses becomes a vessel. God is the strength, but he embodied what it took to go in and bring order out of chaos, to bring people out of darkness. And there's a sense in which you have to step up to the center stage of your own story and be the deliverer. Be the one who takes the reality of heaven and marshals that and takes control over the out of control things in your life. When God says, hey, I got something I'm going to do. I'm going to do this thing for you. It's going to be awesome. I've never experienced, I'm going to guess, where it didn't involve me suiting up. It's this paradox of I am with you. I'm going to do it. It's all me. It's me. And by the way, get ready, because I'm sending you. But fear pushes us into this passivity where we sit in a prison and wait for somebody to come and get us out. And there are those moments for profoundly traumatized people when there is Jesus rushing in to take us out of prison. He did that for me and some emotional wounding. But there came a point in time where he said, look, I'm taking you out, but the very first thing I'm going to do is teach you how to start. Get your feet on the ground. We're doing this thing together. The pattern of God is, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this awesome thing. And you're it. You're it. So you want to live a fear-free life? You want to live an overcoming life? You've just been conscripted. You've just been drafted into the army of God to be the person who receives deliverance and enacts it in all areas of your life and brings order, out of the chaos in his authority. Wow. Not quite the plan. The plan of God is not passive, right? The plan of God's plan of deliverance is not passive. It's partnered. It's shared. It's actionable. It puts us in a position of accountability and obedience. And this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know you're already going through the hardest time in your life before this came along. So there are some things, when there are convergences like that, then what I see is opportunity. I see that there are patterns and shapes coming up and recycling. And God is pressing in to say, it's not just about this and it's not just about the virus. There have been cycling patterns and shapes that keep coming back over and over. And you know how that, you'll note that when that's true is because you'll start having dreams about how you're stuck and you can't get out, or you have a test coming up and you can't pass the test, or you're in school and you can't get to class. I used to have these crazy dreams about being back in school studying classical guitar performance, and I couldn't find my classes and I couldn't get there, and I couldn't get them, and I had to find my thing, and I hadn't practiced and I hadn't prepared, and I didn't know what was expected of me, and I was all over the map. And then the dream would always end with me standing there behind stage and with my guitar, and they'd go, "Okay, Julie, you're on like your senior recital." Because in guitar performance and music performance, the way they judge your whole year is 45 minutes of memorized music on a stage in front of judges and an audience. Boom. And I had to do that a number of times as a terrorized, performance anxiety ridden person to get through school. So I would relive that in my dreams. And when you're having those kind of frustrated, disoriented dreams where you just can't get what's up and it's cycling around you, this is God's message saying, slow down, you're in school, but you're not getting the point of what I'm showing you. You're in the disorientation and the anxiety and the panic, but you haven't understood and you have not ingested the preparation and the change that I want to do in you. Slow down. Slow down. You are disoriented by what you have not yet understood about your soul and the key issues I'm dealing with in you. Get it? And so it's time for homework, and we're at home. And it's time for that homework. It's time for what is revealed now. What is already coming up for you that you can't send your husband off to work. I can't. He normally travels, a lot, my husband. What's happening now that you're interacting? What's happening for some of you with younger children, and you're bumping into each other and you're rubbing, and things are coming up and stuff is manifesting, and this becomes our opportunity to do our homework and to do the work of what's always been there and what systems around us enabled us not to change. Kids, dishes not done. Just say it. What systems around us enabled us to keep going? What gods in Egypt that they worshipped at the time before Passover allowed them to keep up? They worshipped the Nile. That was, I believe that the Nile god had a lot to do with economics, because you see I have to research this out, and I'm going to, but the Nile would flood, right? And this was how crops were watered. And this is how seasons and the economy of the Nile River Valley, I believe, was watered by the seasonal overflow of the Nile River. And what that brought, whether it was fish or irrigation. And so that thing, they relied on how that came and went, right? And God judges the Nile, the very Nile itself. People relied on that as their water, their life source for the entire nation of Egypt. And God says, really, you're worshiping that. Okay, let's just turn it to blood. Let's just turn it into blood. Well, our economy right now is full of blood. Bloodletting, blood spilling, innocent life. The economy of selling body parts, baby parts. The economy of a bloodletted society with war and all kinds of nefarious stuff. And it's like God is saying, nope, we're going to stop that. We're going to put a stop to that. And I believe just like there are 10 plagues, that came before Passover, and each one represented a God that was being judged. I believe we're in a season where 10, the number of judgment, is God allowing the gods that we've relied on and the things that we've trusted in to be shaken, and we're going to realize the emperor has no clothes. So here we are at home, and the stuff we relied on to keep us separate from our kids, our husbands, our families, our wives, from our frustrations, the things that kept us busy and going, and the things we were relying on are all being shaken. So now it's time for home work. Now it's time for the deeper thing, right? And I have given you things, and other people have given you things specifically to start and work on. Are you doing them? Are you taking advantage of this time? I don't know that you need another prophetic word. I don't know that we need another thing. It's in the works. There's a plan. This thing is divinely designed. God is doing an amazing thing. This is a reset. Where are you in dealing with the deeper issues right now so that you can move forward as we reemerge in a new era, really, in a new era in the earth? We'll never be the same after this whole thing. We really won't. And the deliverance that you're seeking requires your participation and your commitment and your choices. And again, I've been giving you a lot of content, and I'm going to continue to do that. And you can join my Fear Free Life group on Facebook and walk through with some specific daily challenges. I'm telling you, they're powerful. We need little wins. We need little wins to be able to say, I showed up. I did this. I committed. I loved. I did this. I risked. I showed up. Super, super, super important right now. And you'll notice some voices are quieting. They're not rushing to fill the void. And I don't know that we should rush to fill the void right now. I think we should refocus each other to be doing the deeper work and allowing God to unearth the unsettled places in us and finally deal with them. Because there's going to be more shakings after this. We're going to get through this and it's going to be fine. But there are going to be more shakings coming. And what I'm experiencing as a person who used to be totally afraid and anxious and uptight and depressed, there was a time when I literally felt like something was following me around all the time. I felt like something was out to get me all the time. And I had to get delivered of that in Jesus' name, those demonic things, plus just how they played into my inner unsafety. But you know what? I got to tell you, I feel like, and those of you who've done your work, there are a lot of us that are feeling like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm good. This is what I've been prepared for. I'm in line. And that's how you can do. You can be now, and you can step into that right now. You can be a person who steps out of depth and of anxiety, panic, and trauma into somebody who goes, no, this is my hour. This is what I was created to do. I'm shifting and changing for the new normal of what God is doing in the earth, and I'm not afraid. And if you're not there yet, this is your chance. This is your opportunity. So do it. So step into that. And there'll be more tomorrow. We'll come up with something cool that's going to be important for you. Something else to help you teach yourself and shepherd your soul. You have responsibility. It says, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. You must guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Not guarding it out of bitterness, panic, betrayal, trauma, regression, withdrawal, but guarding it out of love and the shepherd's love. I asked somebody recently, hey, do you like yourself? Do you like being you? Do you like being in your skin? They were really struggling through a deep healing thing. And they said, I don't know. I don't know. I said, but you know what? You're going to get there. It's possible to get up every day and go, I just like being me. I'm just good in my skin. That is God's gift to you, and that is part of your inheritance, to just be in your skin and be able to go, I'm pretty comfortable here. I'm not comfortable with my sin. I'm not comfortable with my screw-ups, but I'm comfortable being his art, his workmanship in this place where I am right now. And that is something that God paid for you to be able to step into. And as you pursue your responsibility to be the Moses in your own deliverance story, you're going to find you can wake up in the promised land more and more and more and enjoy the milk and honey of being in your own skin with your own story, your own future, your own paradoxes, and just go, I kind of like it. It's kind of good. And that's what God wants us to step into right now. But don't waste this time. If that's not where you are, listen, you need yesterday's scope and the one before that and the one before that. Go back like my friend in India did and get yourself a whole library of fear-free living broadcasts that you go back to. I work really hard not to waste your time, but to be giving you things that are actionable, that put you in the responsible driver's seat, to give you the choice to bring order out of the chaos in your life as God works within you. How about that? And if you're on Periscope, you want to follow Greg Harvey and watch the Scope Train tonight, because I've heard there's some stars that are going to show up. Right, Greg? At least one anyway. At least one unhinged Hollywood personality will be on your Scope Train tonight. And I'm going to be releasing a video that our family did yesterday. Our family had a little bit too much time on our hands, and the next thing you know, the costumes came out, the props came out, and it turned into a full-on production of, so we'll be releasing that, and hopefully that'll be fun. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you joined My Fear Free Life group on Facebook, and I will hook you up, and I will see you later. Go do something that scares you, like take responsibility for your own freedom.